Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on South Africa's biggest political stories. Now, today's headline is one that's stirring up major conversations across the country, and maybe even setting the stage for a dramatic shift in how power and leadership are perceived in Mzansi. Angie Motshekga, the country's long-serving basic education minister, has officially stepped in as the acting president of South Africa. Yes, you heard that correctly. For a brief window between June 17 and June 19, Minister Motshekga is not just overseeing schools or matric exams, she is holding the presidential reins. And while this might sound like just another ceremonial handover, it actually reveals much more about the state of leadership in South Africa, the ANC's internal dynamics, gender politics, and even constitutional questions around succession. Let's unpack what this means, how we got here, and why this development is far more significant than it might initially seem. To start, both President Cyril Ramaphosa and Deputy President Paul Mashatile are currently out of the country. Ramaphosa is attending international peace and economic summits in Europe, while Mashatile has been dispatched to Russia on what the presidency describes as a strategic diplomatic and trade mission. With both of them abroad, the constitution allows the president to appoint an acting president from among cabinet members. This time, that role went to Angie Motshekga. This isn't the first time a cabinet minister has taken the seat temporarily. But what makes this notable is Motshekga's portfolio. She's been education minister since 2009, a long time to stay in one portfolio, which speaks to her political staying power within the ANC. She's known for pushing curriculum reform, dealing with the crisis of underperforming schools, and surviving various controversies, including strikes, textbook scandals, and infrastructural backlogs. Love her or not, she's managed to stay in government across three different presidents, Zuma, Motlanthe, and Ramaphosa. That kind of longevity isn't by luck. But here's where it gets interesting: the symbolic weight of having a woman step into the presidency, even for 48 hours, has ignited serious debate online and in political circles. South Africa has never had a female president, not even an acting one until now. So this appointment raises uncomfortable but necessary questions. Why haven't more women been elevated to top leadership in South African politics? Is the ANC prepared to back a female candidate in the future? Could Motshekga herself be testing the waters for a more permanent leadership role? And if not her, then who? Some commentators believe this was a calculated move by the ANC to present an image of gender inclusion, especially as the party faces electoral pressure and declining support in key demographics. With the rise of parties like the EFF and the MK Party, which attract younger, more radical voters, there's pressure on the ANC to present something fresh. Could this symbolic handover to Motshekga be part of a broader strategy? But it's not all sunshine and applause. There's a darker side to this conversation too. Many South Africans remember Motshekga's tenure in education for the negative headlines: schools without toilets, children dying in pit latrines, delayed textbook deliveries, and ongoing teacher union power struggles. Critics argue that giving her the acting presidency is an insult to accountability. If she struggled to run education effectively, what does that say about her suitability for national leadership, even for a short time? Others have pointed out that this shows the fragility of South Africa's succession system. What happens if the president and deputy are incapacitated or unreachable during a national crisis? Are we ready for a scenario where a minister not elected by the public as a deputy is suddenly in charge of the country's nuclear codes, military command, and executive decisions? It's a legitimate concern, one that goes beyond party politics and touches on constitutional design. Should there be more robust succession planning? Should the deputy president's role be split or accompanied by a clear second deputy, as some African countries do? Or is this current structure enough? Online, public reactions have been sharp and split. Some are celebrating the moment as a victory for women's empowerment. Tweets like "salute to a woman finally at the top, even if for a moment," have gone viral. Others are fuming, calling the appointment a symbolic distraction from real issues and questioning whether the ANC simply handed over the role to avoid internal factional battles between more powerful contenders. And then, of course, there's the question of optics. Ramaphosa is seen shaking hands in Brussels. Mashatile is toasting with Russian officials in Moscow. And back home, Motshekga is signing off on executive decisions. Is this a genuine moment of trust in her leadership, or a political smokescreen meant to buy time while bigger power plays happen in the background? One theory that's been making the rounds is that this move was meant to sideline other potential rivals within the ANC. Names like Gwede Mantashe, Naledi Pandor, or even Fikile Mbalula were floated as possible acting presidents, but none were chosen. Was Motshekga the neutral choice, the safe pair of hands, or the placeholder while the real succession fight simmers behind closed doors? The implications stretch even further. With elections just around the corner and the ANC's majority no longer guaranteed, many are reading this as a subtle test. A what-if scenario. What if Angie Motshekga was on the 2026 ballot? Would South Africans vote for her? Would she be seen as a trailblazer or as a continuation of failed ANC policies? And if not her, then who will step up? Famzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, the former UN woman head, has long been touted as a possible future president. Could we see her return to the fold? What about Lindiwe Sisulu, who has presidential ambitions of her own despite her fractured relationship with the ANC leadership? These are questions the public is starting to ask more openly, especially after Motshekga's brief taste of presidential power. So what's next? Well, for now, Motshekga has wrapped up her 48-hour acting term. Ramaphosa is expected to return by Thursday, and Mashatile will resume his deputy duties soon after. But the political debate is far from over. This moment will linger in the public mind, both for what it represented and what it failed to change. Let's be honest, South Africans are tired. Tired of broken promises, failing infrastructure, collapsing education and health systems, and growing poverty. But they're also hungry for leadership, for vision, for change. And whether Angie Motshekga was a genuine symbol of that change or just a political placeholder, her brief presidency has cracked open a door that can't be closed. So now, it's over to you. Do you believe Angie Motshekga has what it takes to lead this country one day? Was this appointment a step toward women's leadership or just ANC window dressing? And what kind of leader does South Africa really need right now? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button so you stay informed and empowered. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you next time.